Okay, good evening. Welcome to our Thursday Mindfulness Zen and our second week of the Beginner's Guide to Zen. And tonight we're talking about developing concentration. So you can think of concentration as being able to sustain your attention for a period of time. So that's what we're going to talk about, and maybe what we can do is remind ourselves of our working definition of meditation. So meditation is the intentional practice to pay attention moment to moment with openness and acceptance, without judgment or expectations. And then the awareness that arises from this we can call mindfulness. So last week, I ended the class by suggesting that you practice the 3-minute breathing space for once a day at least. How did you get on? Did you manage to do it once a day? Or maybe once most days? How was it? So let's just practice it once over again to remind ourselves. There are 3 stages to this meditation, this 3-minute meditation, 3-minute breathing space, and each takes about a minute. So let's first shift our body to sit in a way that allows us to embody the intention to pay attention for these 3 minutes, to be awake and be alert. So it might mean adjusting your body a little bit, maybe sitting up a little bit, and noticing how you're sitting. If you feel comfortable, let your eyes close, or if you like them open, just find a spot a few feet in front of you and gaze at it with a soft and steady focus. Now tune into the sensation of sitting. Your bottom on the cushion or the chair, perhaps your feet on the floor. So the first step of the 3-minute breathing space is to look into our mind, checking what the weather is like, becoming curious about our experience right now. What thoughts are there? What feelings or emotions are present? And what sort of body sensations are you experiencing right now? Now just hold them in awareness. I'm not trying to change anything. Just being fully aware of the thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Maybe noticing them changing from one moment to the next, but not trying to change them in any way. Now see if you can let go of that and bring your attention to a single point of focus, like a spotlight, on your breath and the body, moving your focus down your body onto your belly. bring the spotlight of your awareness on the sensation of your breath in your belly. As you breathe in, noticing the belly rise, and breathing out, noticing the belly fall. Breathing in, lifting, expanding, breathing out, contracting, falling. See if you can stay with this gentle rhythm of breathing for a few moments, as best you can. Next, see if you can expand your attention around the breath and around the body, allowing your attention to radiate outwards into your whole body, so that you're holding your whole body in awareness from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Your whole body is breathing. One breath, one body. Now, when you feel ready, allow your eyes to gently open and bring your attention back to the room again. Okay, how was that? Did you notice the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and body sensations that were there? Were you able to fairly easily bring your awareness to focus on the rise and fall of the breath in the body? And what was it like when you allowed your awareness to radiate out so that you're holding your whole body in awareness? How was that like? So this 3-minute breathing space is very quick, but it's a very useful short meditation to help you ground yourself quickly. So my suggestion to you again is to try practicing it once a day for the next week. See how you go, because meditation is a practice. It's something that we need to practice to develop a habit and get better at it. Okay? So now, let's talk about concentration. Many people have slightly different ideas of what concentration means in meditation practice. So I want to give you a couple examples of what it is not, so that you can hopefully avoid those pitfalls. Now, I went on my very first 3-month winter retreat in Korea from December 93 to February 94. A 3 months, 90 days intensive retreat, practicing up to about 10 hours every day, and also keeping silence for all that time. So before I went on the retreat, just a few days before, a good friend told me they heard the Zen master Subong say, when your mind is clear, when your mind is very clear and you're focused, you can taste the floor. So I thought, wow, that must be something so magical, you know, that I can really like kind of taste the floor. So I wanted that experience. So when we started the retreat, that was what I wanted. So I really, when I, we sit facing the wall outwards, 20 of us in this small room. And I looked down at the floor and I just picked a spot and I just kind of zoomed in to focus on it. So I could really, I was trying to get to see it very, very clearly, So I wanted to experience so bad to have this clarity so that I could taste the floor, whatever that meant. So what happened? So over the course of the meditation, my desire to really kind of see the floor very clearly was so strong that I started to kind of get closer to the floor, that my head started to go down and hunch like that, kind of maybe worse than that. And if you sit like that for a long time, what it does is that your head is quite heavy, it's kind of like about 10 kilos or something like that. So you're putting a lot of strain on the muscles in your neck and the muscles in your shoulders and your back and everything. You're out of balance really. So after not very long, after a few days or maybe a week or so, I really started to have this very tight neck, tight back, backache, neck ache, everything. And they started to hurt a lot. And that lasted for the whole 90 days. It was kind of like, physically very hard, painful. So did I get to taste the floor? No. So that was my idea of trying to concentrate. So, and there's very valuable lessons that we can learn from this. Number one is don't take things so literally, because that, when you take things too literally, you're not actually being very practical. And then also be careful, because when somebody tells you they heard a famous master say this and this, they may have misheard, misunderstood, or misremembered. They may be quoting out of context as well. So I just took that as, that's exactly what he meant, literally. And that kind of guided my practice for the whole 90 days, which was, very physically painful for me. I mean, there were other aspects of the retreat which were very, very good and very, very helpful, but this was a very big lesson to me. So then, actually what happened was that one of the Sunims on the retreat said, you're sitting very strangely. Then I sort of like, what do you mean? Communicating by note, not by talking. And then they said, really hunched over. So then I realized what I was doing very late on in the retreat. And then I asked the head monk, whenever he walked around with the stick, the Zen stick, to help correct my posture. So every time he walked around, he would put the stick behind me and I would kind of straighten up against it, because I was still having this habit of hunching over and trying to look at the floor. Then, a number of years later, after I became a monk, I was in Malaysia helping with a retreat. I was then the head monk and leading the meditation sessions. So this was like a 10-day retreat. And one of the head monk's job is to walk around the room once each period, just to help everyone with their practice. Maybe if someone's posture is leaning too much to one side, you help them kind of straighten up and everything. So as I walked around, I noticed there was one young woman whose face was kind of screwed and knotted up, and her eyebrows were really like in a grimace, like like that. As she was meditating, it was like. So I thought, wow, what's going on, So I thought, maybe it's just, passing thing. But what I noticed was every time I walked around, it was the same expression that this young woman had on her face, like that. So then I thought, this is not normal, because everybody else was like, okay. So I wanted to help her. So after a few days, I sort of wrote a note to her and said, everything going okay with your retreat? How's your practice? Then I said, I noticed when you sit, you're sitting with a grimace on your face, like something is maybe very uncomfortable. You're kind of forcing yourself to do something, or maybe it's some pain or something. Then she was like, oh, no. She wrote back, no. That's just me trying to concentrate. Trying to concentrate. So that is like too much. It's like Zen Master Sung San would say, 120%. You only need 100%. 100% is enough. You don't need 120%. So this kind of concentration also is not what we're practicing, because you may be able to do it for 5-10 minutes, but it's not sustainable over the long term. It's like you're trying too hard. It's like you're pulling at something or pushing at something very hard, and after a while, your muscles will give up, and you can't do it. So I don't know what happened for the rest. I didn't really touch that anymore. But that's not what we're doing in meditation. Because in kind of normal everyday life, we think of concentration as making a big effort to pay attention to something. And yes, we can do that for a short time. Like maybe if you're trying to shoot an arrow or throw a dart at a dartboard, you're like, boom. That's a very short moment of intense concentration. But your meditation, we're talking about hours, or maybe we're practicing, okay, like 30 minutes in a usual period. So what we're practicing, the kind of concentration that we're practicing, is more about paying attention in a relaxed, non-judgmental way to some object of meditation, like our breath. So the key thing to remember is paying attention in a relaxed, non-judgmental manner. Okay? So one great meditation technique that helps us to do this is counting our breath. It helps us develop our relaxed, non-judgmental concentration. And this method is very simple, and it's as old as the hills. It's been practiced by the ancient masters for thousands of years. So let's try that now. Okay? First, get into a comfortable but alert posture. Shift your body around if you need to, and get into a posture that embodies your intention to pay attention for the duration of this meditation. You can close your eyes or keep them slightly open, gazing downwards with a soft focus. Start to feel the sensation of your body breathing. Where do you feel your breath most prominently? Is it at your nostrils, back of your throat, at your chest, or lower down your belly? Just notice it. And then bring your awareness to that area where you notice your breathing. The sensation of the movement of the breath in your body. Breathing in, rising, expanding. Breathing out, falling, contracting. Now in this meditation technique, we will count on each out breath. So that is, breathe in, then breathing out, 1. In, breathing out, 2. Breathing in, breathing out, 3. So we count each out breath and count up to 10. Then when you get to 10, begin again at 1. If you get distracted or you lose your count, begin again at 1. Don't worry if you get distracted or lose count. That is totally normal. Happens all the time. So all you have to do when you realize that you've got distracted by your thoughts or you lost your way, simply start over again at 1. Try not to judge yourself. It's all part of the practice. So let's try doing that for about 10 minutes. Counting our breath up to 10 and starting over again. Okay, taking your time when you're ready. So how was that? Were you able to do it fairly easily, fairly completely, counting to 10? How did it go? So this method is actually very simple, but practicing it can be challenging because it's just so simple. As with meditation, our mind gets away a lot. So that's why this counting our breath meditation really helps us to develop our powers of concentration, to be able to pay just this relaxed attention over a sustained duration. So if you want some homework, here it is. Try practicing this for 5 minutes a day over the next week and see how you get on. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask in the comments section or WhatsApp us. And that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for your practice. And we hope you have a very nice end to the week. Next week, we'll talk about developing our awareness. Okay, so I hope to see you then, same time, Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Take care. Bye-bye.